This is Optimal Health Daily, episode 209. Are you making these mistakes with your sleep? Part 4 by Steve Kamb of nerdfitness.com. And I'm Dr. Neil, your very own personal narrator. Welcome to a Thursday edition of Optimal Health Daily. This is now one of 5 podcasts where we read to you blogs for free so that you don't have to read them for yourself. Except on Fridays, where I answer your questions. And today, we're lucky to have our first sponsor for this show. So a big thanks to Talkspace, the online therapy company that believes that therapy should be affordable, confidential, and convenient. A Talkspace therapist can help put you on the path to a happier life. For a special offer just for our listeners, come by Talkspace.com/OHD. Now, at the end of yesterday's show, I mentioned how I was going to go home and take a nap. I felt right asleep. And my goodness, I was so much more productive the rest of the day. So if you do get an opportunity to take a quick nap, I highly recommend it. So today's post is a continuation from yesterday and all this week, actually. So if you're new here or skipping around, I'd recommend listening to part 1 on Monday's show. That's episode 206. And with that, let's finish up this post as we optimize your life. Are you making these mistakes with your sleep? Part 4 by Steve Kamb of nerdfitness.com. What about second sleep? Biphasic sleep is sleeping in 2 distinct periods. We're going to take a trip back in time again. During the winter months, nighttime could last anywhere from 12 to 14 hours. With our body's production of melatonin, the sleepy time hormone, kicking into high gear when that sun drops, people had nothing else to do. There was no TV, no PS4, no iPads, and would fall asleep early. Then they would wake up for an hour or two in the middle of the night to read, pray, or think, and then fall asleep for another 4 to 5 hours before waking up for the day. If you've ever gone to bed at a normal hour and then woke up in the middle of the night without being able to fall back asleep for an hour or so, you know what I'm talking about. Here's the thing. This is actually quite natural. Rather than freaking the heck out and lying in bed wondering why you can't fall asleep, consider it something that is more common than our current sleep schedule. Don't be afraid to turn on the light and read a book or use the time for meditation until you can fall back asleep. This one mental shift alone can keep your stress levels down and let you get back to sleep faster and provide you with better sleep. Sleep hacking tips and tricks. Clear your mind, Neo. I often spend my nights in bed thinking and worrying about all of the things I need to do the next day. Instead of stressing out about it, take a minute and write down the things you need to do the next day, and then set it aside. A notebook, a Post-it note, an Evernote file, whatever. Do a brain dump and clear your head so you can focus on reading a Game of Thrones without thinking about the next day's tasks. Want to control your dreams? It's called lucid dreaming. It's possible, but requires work. I've only been able to do this once, but haven't given up hope that it can become more common occurrence. Ultimately, this allows you to live out a real-life version of Inception. Sleep apnea? Being overweight is a big cause of sleep apnea for many. What may help is to try a different sleeping position, like the aforementioned half military crawl position to keep your passages open. And of course, weight loss would help tremendously. Have way too much time on your hands and not constricted by societal norms? Try polyphasic sleep, or the Uberman sleep schedule, and then let us know how it goes. It didn't work for Kramer, but it might work for you. Stop sucking, start documenting. Like anything, that which gets measured gets improved. Now, if you're somebody that isn't really detail-oriented, just start by picking 1 or 2 of the changes I mentioned and focus on building that hard hat habit. However, if you like to nerd out about certain details, why not nerd out about your sleep? Starting tomorrow morning, when you wake up, recap the previous day with a journal entry. What time did you wake up, and what time did you actually get out of bed? How many times did you hit snooze? After work, how much television did you watch? After you finished watching, did you go right to bed? Did you fall asleep with the TV on? How long did you lie in bed before actually falling asleep? Obviously, this will be tough to tell, but you can estimate. A quick recap on what to do. Change 1 or 2 things about your current strategy. Turn off the computer 15 minutes earlier. Stop watching TV in bed. Read fiction. Limit the amount of blue light at night. No more hitting the snooze button. Set the alarm clock across the room. go for a walk in the morning outside. If you want to use technology, F-Lux for your computer, red bulbs in the bedroom, sleep cycle for your mobile device, or a sunrise alarm clock for waking up without disturbing deep sleep. You just listened to part 4 of the post titled, "Are You Making These Mistakes with Your Sleep?" by Steve Kamb of nerdfitness.com. Now, Steve mentioned lucid dreaming. Justin from Optimal Living Daily did an episode on that. It's episode 50. You can check that out if you want to learn more about it. And a big thanks again to Talkspace for helping to keep this podcast going. We all need to take a little bit better care of ourselves, and mental health is no exception. Talkspace is an online therapy company that makes it easy to connect with an experienced, licensed therapist, handpicked just for you, and for as little as $32 a week. Using Talkspace, you can send your therapist texts, audio and video messages whenever you want, or even do a live video chat. You can vent about work or family or talk through something on your mind. Whatever the case, a therapist is ready to help. To sign up and learn more, come by Talkspace.com/OHD. And as a special for our listeners, you can use the coupon code OHD to get $30 off your first month. And it'll show your support for this podcast. And the link is Talkspace.com/OHD. So remember earlier this week I said you want to give yourselves time, be gradual with this process. I love that Steve said choose 1 or 2 of the suggestions maximum to start your journey. He's absolutely right. You do too many things at once, whether it's related to sleep or really any other behavior change, and you're going to overwhelm yourself. It's going to seem too complicated, it's going to seem like too much, and you're going to stop. When you do pick that one thing, let's say, don't just quit after 1 or 2 days of trying it. Take your time. Try it for 2 weeks, 3 weeks, and if by then it's not working for you, move on to the other suggestions. What personally worked for me, and as a guy who would wake up at noon, having gone to sleep at 1 or 2 a.m. the night before, I would wake up just a little bit earlier each morning. By waking up earlier, I found that I was more fatigued by the time the evening came around, and so I would actually want to go to bed on time. So that was that little trick that worked for me. It may not work for you, but we've given you lots of suggestions for you to try. Okay, that wraps up today's episode and a 4-part post. I hope you have a great rest of your Thursday, and I'll see you in the Q&A show tomorrow, where your optimal life awaits.
Hello, Life Optimizer. This is Justin Malik, creator and producer of this show, and Optimal Living Daily, the brother podcast of this one. Literally, I'm Dr. Neil's brother. If you like the format of this show, you'll love Optimal Living Daily too, where I also read to you from blogs, but cover other topics like personal development, finance, and minimalism from bloggers like Derek Sivers, The Minimalists, Zen Habits, and many more. So for more amazing content read to you for free, come subscribe to Optimal Living Daily too, and together we'll optimize your life.
You've been listening to Optimal Health Daily. Be sure to hit the subscribe button to stay up to date on each new episode, and head to oldpodcast.com. That's oldpodcast.com for a free gift, as well as more actionable tips and resources to help you maximize your potential. Thanks for joining us, and remember, your optimal life awaits.